Hello and welcome to episode 26 of the Sweet Lavender Knits podcast. My name is Christine and I'm coming to you from Toronto, Ontario in Canada. Today is January the 27th, 2019, and I welcome you to my knit night. I don't have a local knit night to go to, so this is my way of partaking in a knit night, and I thank you for joining me today. You can find me on Instagram as sweet_lavender1 and on Ravelry as sweetlavender1. We also have a lovely Ravelry group called Sweet Lavender Knits, so come on by, check us out, and if you fancy, you can join in and introduce yourself in the welcome thread. Thank you once again for joining me today. I thank you for all your lovely comments on the past episode, and for those who are new viewers, I really thank you for joining in, and I hope you like what you see and you'll come back again for another knit night with us. So this is a podcast. I call it a podcast, but I think it's just another episode in my knitting journey. And so why don't you grab your needles, something nice to drink, your favorite project, and let's get started. Today is a beautiful Sunday, very cold outside, and I can't believe we're already at the end of January. Where has this month gone? Well, I know I have been quite busy, at the same time not feeling so well, but a lot better now. So thank you all for your lovely wishes, those of you that did reach out to me on Instagram. I really thank you for that. I don't know if it was just the cold or January blues, the winter blues, or what, but it's just I've been feeling really very low in energy and just not feeling a lot like myself, and my knitting has suffered a little bit, but I still do have a finished object to share with you, which is great, and I will do so in just a bit. The last time I podcasted, we were just before my youngest son's 10th birthday, and so that was quite an event. The kids had a lot of fun. We had set up the party at Laser Quest, which is a laser tag party place, I guess, not just for parties, even just to go and have fun. And the kids definitely had fun, but the lights, the sounds, the crowds, it was just a little overwhelming for me, and I had taken my knitting with me. So funny story, I was sitting there knitting, trying to feel a little disconnected from all of the noise that was happening. So I was concentrating on my sock that I was knitting, and one of the girls who was helping with the party, she was actually our hostess, she was so surprised. She goes, "Oh my gosh, you're knitting. What are you knitting?" So I told her it was a pair of socks, and I showed her the ones that I was wearing, which were hand knit socks, and she was just amazed. So she had to take me around and show what I was knitting off to the other people, to her colleagues, which was a little funny. But yeah, I'm glad that people recognize knitting as a cool thing, because I think it's picking up trend, which is great for all of us knitters, and I always say it's a life skill. Everyone should learn it. What else? Yes, it's been really cold. We've had some very mild winter weather at the beginning of January, and sometime over the last 2 weeks we were hit with cold, minus 38, I think we went up to. That's including the wind chill, and this week too, today is a very cold day, and it's minus 20 something degrees Celsius I'm talking about, which is still very cold. And we've been dumped with a lot of snow, and we're gonna have a lot more tomorrow, I hear. Yay! So yes, it is perfect knitting weather. If I could just stay indoors and knit, I would be really happy. Unfortunately, I have to go out to work in the cold and in the snow, and that's the part that I don't really enjoy too much. So that's what's been happening over the last 3 weeks, and then just, you know, because of the cold, and I was not feeling so good, and aches and pains all over, like, but yes, and we're done with it. Here I am. I've pulled myself together. I told myself I want to sit and do a podcast, and I'm really glad to have some bright sunlight that's helping with the lighting in this podcast that always seems to struggle with it. And yes, and so I hope you, I don't have a lot of knitting content for today, to be frank, but I really do want to sit down and chat with you guys. So hope this will be okay with you. The other thing is, I don't know how I missed it. Actually, I do. It's been because over the Christmas, the weeks over Christmas and New Year, it was very busy, and I didn't really have notes the last time I was podcasting, or the time before, I think. So I kind of winged it, and in between me having the notes, not having the notes, and then rewriting the notes for the next episode, I totally forgot this giveaway that I had mentioned after I finished my mittens last year. So I did a test knit for one of my viewers who released her very first mitten pattern, or very first pattern actually, on Ravelry, and it's the Fingers Down Mittens by Mary Ellen Meggs. And so congratulations, Mary, on your pattern release. And I loved knitting those mittens. It's 2 at a time, but you also have the option of knitting them 1 at a time if you prefer. And it's fingers down, so top down knitting, and it knits up really fast. There's a little bit of grafting that I had to do, which was new to me, so I learned something of the out of the pattern as well, which is something I really do enjoy. With every pattern, I want to be able to learn, even if it's a very small technique, something that'll add to my knitting repertoire. So yes, I really enjoyed knitting this pattern, and at the time Mary Ellen had offered a pattern, a copy of the pattern for one of my viewers as a giveaway, and I mentioned this, and then I totally forgot to draw for it. So I apologize for anybody who did leave comments with that intention, but I do want to make it up to you all, everyone, is I will open a Ravelry thread for this giveaway, and so go on by, and the prompt is going to be very simple. It's, have you knit mittens, and if you win this pattern, what will be the yarn that you will be using for these mittens? In knitting the mittens, I found that the pattern is quite simple. So what you can really do is show off those really sparkle yarns, or not sparkle, well, sparkle too, but speckled yarns, and variegated, and any kind of crazy colors or muted colors, however you want to play. I think it showcases the yarn very well, and I had exemplary help from Mary Ellen. Any of the questions that I had, she was able to answer right away. So yeah, it was very fun to knit up the mittens, and I can say that if I had knit the mittens all through the weekend without any interruptions, I would have been done in 2 days. It was as simple as that. And because they're knit 2 at a time, well, I knit them 2 at a time, I really enjoyed that. So yes, go on by and put in your entry. just answer the prompt. It's going to be as simple as have you ever knit mittens before, and if you win this pattern, what will be the yarn that you will use for it. You don't have to stick to that, but maybe some colors or what kind of yarn or something like that. So yes, I do apologize for totally forgetting about that, but I'm glad I caught it now, and it'll be a nice giveaway for the month of January. So thank you again, Mary Ellen, for that contribution for the month of January's giveaway, and I wish you all the very best with all your upcoming designs. I know you said you had another one coming up, and so we wish you well. On to finished objects. I am so thankful that I was able to knit these socks because it really helped keep me in the zone. I think I was getting a little overwhelmed. I was trying to just find something to focus on, and knitting these socks really helped. And it was all, you know, a fun yarn, as you will see in just a moment, and so it was pleasure to knit them. So here is my finished object. It's a pair of I'm calling them my January sprinkle socks. Because it reminds me of all the sprinkles on a donut or on cake or something sweet. And yes, I just did a very, very simple slip stitch pattern, which unfortunately is lost because of all of the sprinkles. I was very aware that it will not show up on the yarn, but I refuse to do a vanilla sock. I get very bored with vanilla socks, so I needed to keep my interest in knitting these socks, and so I did a very simple slip stitch pattern that I hope to repeat on a more maybe a tonal or a plain yarn, so it'll show off the pattern a lot better. So here it is, very, very simple socks, and I've put in contrast heels and toes with this is Holzgarn's I forget what the colorway is. I think it's Petal, I'm not sure, but it's a very nice soft pink. And now you'll probably see the pink show up more in the sprinkles. And that's what I was saying, is that if you looked at the yarn like this, you see the brighter pink, the green, the yellows, the dark, it's actually like a very, very dark plum color that looks almost black. But now with the pink contrast yarn in there, it shows off the lighter pink that now seems to be a little more obvious. So they're very simple. And I have to say, I'm having trouble with my Kitchener stitch. The Kitchener, well, the stitch itself is fine, right? But every time I end it, I have a loop at the end. I don't know if you can see that tiny loop there, and it comes on both sides. Where is it? On this side here. There's a tiny loop there. It's a loose loop, and that's the very last loop that I have to do for my Kitchener stitch. It always seems to stick out, and I've managed to like hide it, but with this yarn, and I've not blocked these socks. I literally finished my Kitchener stitch on both of these toes right before I hit record, you know, on my phone. So I have not blocked these. I've just put them on and tucked away all of the ends, but it has not been woven in as well. But it's as simple as snipping them now, because I've been weaving in my ends as I go. And that's a really handy technique that I learned off of a YouTube video, and I've been using it wherever I can, because I don't enjoy having to go back and weave in ends, and I like the idea of weaving in the ends as you go, you know, whenever I can. So those are my finished pair of socks for January. I'm doing this year of socks. And it's not a official knit along or anything, but that's just something that I'm doing. And I know that maybe 2 or 3 of you have said that you would like the idea to join in as well. So maybe, yes, maybe I will go ahead and open up a thread in our Ravelry group for that as well. And I'll call it the Year of Socks 2019. And every time you are knitting a pair of socks for that month, you can also hashtag it with SLK Year of Socks 2019 for Sweet Lavender Knits Year of Socks 2019. And yeah, tag me on Instagram. So yes, these are my socks for January, and I am ready to start. I'm going to be winding up my yarn later for February, and I will have a cast on the 1st of February, and that's my Year of Socks. I'm going to be casting on a pair of socks every 1st of the month and try to have them finished by the end of the month. So at the end of the year, I should have 12 pairs of socks. So these are my finished objects for this week. All right, and so I just used one of my Christmas stocking hangers or holders and hung the sock blockers up there so that it has a permanent spot to stay in while, of course, it's not dripping wet or anything. Yes, and I will be blocking those socks later. And now moving on to works in progress, I can put away this project bag for a bit, but you know what, I have more than enough yarn to make another pair of socks. And I know my youngest son, who's 10 years old, and of course his feet are growing, but he loves wearing my hand knit socks, but he just needs them in his size because otherwise he's ruining mine by wearing them and, you know, like sliding in them really. So there's more than enough of this. I just need to maybe mix in some other color, and this is lovely yarn from Mad Tosh Euro Sock, and one of my viewers was very kind enough to help me out with the pronunciation of this colorway. It is spelled Huipil and pronounced Huipil. I hope I'm saying that sort of right. Huipil. Yes, it is apparently a lovely, very, very colorful garment worn in Central and South America. So yes, thank you very much for letting me know, and I really had fun looking up the different garments that they have, and you know, the colors, and I can totally see why this yarn would be called that colorway, because it has all of these lovely colors in it. So thank you very much for that. All right, moving on to works in progress. Like I said, I wasn't really doing much knitting other than these socks. I have been doing maybe a few rows on my Beaumont jumper, which I'm not going to show you again. I showed it to you last week, and I haven't done any substantial amount on it to show it to you. But another of my works in progress that has been sitting around for a bit is this here. It's the Madewell cardigan by Joji Locatelli, and it is a lovely pattern, just a classic cardigan. It's got these elbow patches that I'm not sure how I will be adding it on, but I would definitely be making this cardigan and maybe just slightly longer, because for those of you who've been watching for a while, you'll already know that I like to have the sweaters come down just a little bit to hit right below my hips. So here it is. I haven't gotten very far. This is where I last stopped, and I don't think I've done anything after. I've just picked it up today because now I'm done with my sock for this month. I didn't want to cast anything on at this point, so I wanted to use the remaining few days in the month to focus on getting some knitting done on some of my other works in progress. And so this one is easy enough. It's a lot of stocking stitch, and I've had to alter the stitch count slightly on the arms to accommodate for my size. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. It's a raglan. I'm not doing a very good job showing this to you. Okay, there we go. It's got a raglan increase on the sleeve, and I love this yarn. Okay, it is very soft, and that's why I keep squishing it like that. It is, here it is, and this is it is Sulca Legato. That's the brand, and it's from Peru, and it is 60% merino wool, 20% alpaca, and 20% silk. It is extremely soft. It doesn't have a colorway name, but it has shade number 4. It's blowing out slightly there, if you can see that. So yes, it is really, really nice, and it's like a camel color or tan. And it's just a very, it's sort of like a boring beige color, but I'm hoping that it'll go with a lot of stuff, because I'm very neutral in my colors, and I'm trying to mix it up a little bit to incorporate some colors into my wardrobe as well. But I'm hoping that this will be like a nice sweater that I could, or a cardigan that I could use in the fall, maybe even in winter, but even with the heating on indoors. It's light enough, and I hope it blocks well, because it seems it has this slight halo to it, and I hope it really blocks well. Yeah, so that is what I'm going to be knitting on a little bit, maybe for the next few days. And then the other work in progress, again, I'm not going to show you that one, because I think I showed it to you just the last time, is the Arrow Caterpillar shawl. I've just managed to put in maybe a few rows, 1 or 2 rows more on that, but that is definitely a knit I want to complete before the middle of February, so I can wear it for February, and it'll be a little bright, and you know, those are my colors, and I look forward to having that complete. So I'll be working on that as well. So yes, that sort of is all I have, and I thought I would use that time just to show you some of the acquisitions that are knitting connected, maybe. All right, so first off, the last time when I showed you my my purchase from Knit Picks, the sweater quantity of the yarn that's right over here, and other yarn. The reason I've been keeping it out here is because I want to cast it on. So okay, so maybe I have to change a little bit of what I said, that I will not be casting things on. I do want to cast this on, so I can't wait, but it's just that I'm trying to get my sleeve done on the Beaumont jumper before I cast this on. But I was hoping to cast it on at the end of January, so I'm not sure what will happen. We'll have to wait and see. But here's the yarn. I really can't wait to cast that on. So when I ordered that yarn, at the same time, Knit Picks sent me a free tote, and I forgot to share it with you. So here it is. It is a really nice canvas tote, and this one says, "I'm working on my PhD," and that's projects half done. So it's a really nice size, simple one strap tote bag, and I thought that's a really nice bag for your knitting. And I'm going to keep this, and it's going to be a giveaway prize at some point. I like it, but I thought it would be really nice to share with somebody as well. So look forward to somebody winning this tote bag in the future. That was from Knit Picks, and then they also sent me their catalog, and I have to say I love the colors on this catalog. They're all my colors. If you know me, you know I love purples and pinks, and you know this is such a beautiful spread for me. And I have to say I love the feel of it. It's beautiful. It has this very nice waxy satin finish to it. It's really nice, the cover I'm talking about. And then when you flip through the pages, it's just beautiful, like beautiful. And you get to see all of the colors that they have in some, you know, and some of the bases I've never tried before. So I look forward to, you know, trying them out. Like a Lux, I think it's called. It's blowing out a little bit here. There. And it has all of the colors, and they have such a wide variety of colors, which I like. And I have to say I was a little naughty, but I couldn't resist. Recently, and I think the sale is still going on, they have up to 75% off on some of their yarns, and I went ahead and ordered some more yarn. So I'll have that to show you maybe next time when I podcast. We'll see. But yes, I find that for Knit Picks has good quality yarn, like commercial yarn, that I have not had a problem with so far. I like it. It's economical, as well as it still makes you feel like you're knitting with really good quality yarn. So well, that's just what I've, you know, experienced, and I'm sharing. This is not promoted by Knit Picks in any way. It's just my 2 cents worth on Knit Picks yarn. And yes, I have enjoyed the yarn that I've knit with, and the colors are nice. The customer service is excellent. I have usually sent out an email, and they will respond within the same day if it's early in the day, and early the next day if it's late in the day. So yeah, no complaints whatsoever. The other thing is, so I saw that tote and I was like, okay, I want to keep that for a giveaway, but I really like the idea of having a tote to put your knitting things in. And I was in the dollar store today and I found a tote. And it's not $1. It was $4. So if you're in Canada, these are in Dollarama right now, and they had I think about 4 or 5 different patterns, and I picked one that was appealing to me. But the others were nice as well, and these are totes. These are very good quality. You know, I don't know if it's canvas, but some sort of a cotton. Let me bring them up close. And it has pine trees as a design on this one, and the inside even has binding on the seams, so they're all enclosed seams, and it's really nice. And I thought, you know, for $4, something to put my knitting in, and it looks fancy enough for me to carry outside. I can't go wrong. So yes, right now I have some snacks in there. So but I did pick it up today, so I really did want to share that with you. So there you go, folks. Another for the knitting. We'll say it's for the knitting. So yes, that's what's been happening. I really thank you for joining me today, and I hope you got some really nice work done on your projects, and I hope you enjoyed this time. I really enjoyed speaking with you, and just sharing my knitting, and it's really relaxing to come here. And even though I am speaking to a camera, I really feel like there are people behind that who are watching, and it's a little bit of a conversation because of your comments. So do post your comments, and that's where I feel like I'm engaging with you, and you know, you are my knitting community. So thank you very much for being part of it, and I hope this week will be very good for you, and that you will have a lot of knitting done, a lot of crafting done, and if nothing else, that you will enjoy every day. So thanks again for joining me, and until next time, happy knitting. Bye bye.